I'm Via, and today I'm going to show you how I created my 2021 January bullet journal spread. I decided that for this year, I'm going to start off by featuring each of the 4 Hogwarts houses every month. So January's theme is going to be Ravenclaw, and here's how I did it. I first started by tearing out some paper in order to create the title page, and I tried to make it kind of dramatic and outlining the darker blue paper with the kind of paper bag type paper, I think really makes it look more layered and adds some more dimension. In order to make it easier to fold my notebook, I am making sure that I'm having 2 main parts, one for each page, just so that there's no thick cardstock that needs to be folded in between the pages. After I glue all of the pieces together, I'm going to glue them back into my notebook and start creating the title page. A little tip that I like to do is after I glue in large elements like this, I like to close my notebook and put a couple of heavier books on top just so that it kind of dries flat and stays together. Now I'm going to go ahead and write the title. I've already written in a basic outline in pencil, and I'm going to start with writing the month and then underneath writing Ravenclaw. I like to combine 2 different types of lettering when I do things like this just to add some extra interest, and I believe that it looks a lot cuter this way. Now that the title is done, we can move on to what is my personal favorite part of this spread, which is the raven. I found a picture that I roughly sketched out in pencil before outlining it in pen, and since part of it is on the paper bag and part of it is on the white paper, I decided that I would do a 2-toned raven. So I used a white gel pen for the parts that are on the paper bag, and I used a black felt tip pen for all the parts of the raven that are on the white paper, and I think that it turned out looking really cool. The next thing I did was I just quickly wrote some of the main traits of Ravenclaws in the bottom left corner in a metallic blue ink. Then in the top right, I wrote a quote from the series that says, "You might belong in Ravenclaw if you've a ready mind, where those of wit and learning will always find their kind." Once again, I did this in 2 different tones, with black felt tip pen on the white paper and a white gel pen on the paper bag. The corner with the raven was looking a little bit empty, so I decided to hang some stars and jewels around him just to add a little bit more fullness to the piece. Next, I mixed up a nice blue-gray color in order to add a watercolor streak at the bottom of the page to write the year on. In order to mirror what I had done in the bottom right corner, at the top right corner I decided to recreate something that I've seen from pictures on Pinterest of things in the Ravenclaw common room. I've seen a lot of pictures of what looks sort of like a globe, but instead of all the countries and continents, it contained different magical symbols. I decided to try to recreate that as best as I could, using a similar blue-gray color as I had used earlier with my watercolors. Not entirely sure if I liked the way that it turned out in the end, but overall I think that it does add balance to this piece. While the globe was drying, I went back to write in the year with a brush tip pen in the bottom right corner. As the globe was now dry, I was able to go back in and add in some magical elements. I decided to do some sunbursts and constellations and kind of random land masses just to make it look magical and mysterious. Now that I'd completed all of the main features of the spread, I went back in and added constellations by the globe, and then I added little stars and diamonds to fill up the empty space because I like to do this in all of my bullet journal spreads for the most part. I feel like it really makes them look completed and kind of makes it a little bit more fun and whimsical. I absolutely adore this theme, and if you want to see more of my January 2021 Ravenclaw spreads, I suggest that you look at my next two videos, as this is a 3-part series. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.